Hello, my name's Glenn McCrory and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Lights Out on FAISAL Khan, and I'm here joined by Nathan Gorman. Nathan Gorman competes on Saturday night at the Brentwood Centre on BT Sport. First of all, Nathan, how you doing?
Very well, how are you doing?
Not too bad, man, not too bad. How's training camp been going and preparation for the fight?
Good, you know, after the Sean Turner fight, I had about 2 weeks off, 2 weeks off with the family, then I was back in the gym, so I've had 12 to 14 weeks of training. You know, I haven't been killing it from day one. I've been in the gym and, we've been ticking over, then about 9 weeks or we've just been, drilling it. So it's been really hard, and it's here now, isn't it? All the hard work's done. Yeah,
I was there at the week of the fight, of the Sean Turner fight. You talked a good fight, but in the end you got the win. Victory in round 4. First of all, how would you assess your performance in that fight?
Yeah, it was a good performance. I was the first man to stop Sean. He come off. I lost to Herjavec, and Herjavec took him all the way, and Herjavec's meant to be tutored to the next best thing, and I stopped him in 3. Granted, styles make fights, but I was very happy with the performance. I think it was a breakthrough fight for me against Sean, because Sean's a very credible opponent. Not many people do that to him.
And obviously you've been training with Hugh through the last few weeks. He's got a big fight against Haye-Pulev coming up shortly. Yeah. What's that experience been like with you training and sparring with Hughie Fury?
Very good, I've been down Peter's gym sparring with Hughie. Very good, he's a talented boxer, very elusive, good movement, good on his jab, good on his feet. I think it's a very winnable fight with Pulev. I reckon he beats him.
Talk to us about the opponent on Saturday night. What type of record does he have, and what type of a fighter is he?
Kamil Tolowaski I've got. He's coming off a knockout victory over Naylor Ball. Naylor Ball 5-0, 6-0 unbeaten kid. Well, he isn't now, but he was. I've boxed him before. He's a very, only the true boxing enthusiasts know Kamil Tolowaski. He's a tough and game competitor. And if you're good enough, you beat him. If not, he beats you. He's like type of a gatekeeper. That's what I call him. He's that good. We even paid him to come in preparation for me for Sean Turner. He was my sparring partner. So he's quite.
What did you pick up from him from sparring? What type of a fighter is he?
He's a very come forward fighter. Short shots. He's tough as well.
Yeah. And there's obviously you're scheduled to fight on December 22nd at the MEN Arena on the Warrington Frampton undercard.
Yep.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about Daniel Dubois. He won his fight against Kevin Johnson. First of all, tell us, is there any chance that we could see that fight on December 22nd, or is that a fight for 2019?
I would love to, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to happen 22nd of December. They want to build it, don't they? Make it into a bigger fight in 2019, which is understandable. It has the potentials to be a BT Sport blockbuster. Between me and him, 2 British, unbeaten hopefully at the time, rivalries coming together. So it has big potential there.
What did you make of his performance against Kevin Johnson? He went the distance for the first time in his career. Good thing or a bad thing, because Kevin Johnson's been around the block, over the last few years. But do you think for experience it's good that Daniel was able to go the full 10 rounds?
Yeah, definitely. I said this just a minute ago at the press conference. He's probably ticked a few boxes now in his mind. He's got rid of a few demons that he can do 10 rounds. Granted, there wasn't much coming back from Kevin, so you wouldn't have to use much work rate, but he's done the 10 rounds now. It's grueling to do 10 rounds, especially with someone size of Kevin Johnson in front of heavyweight person.
How big a fight is that for British boxing, you and Daniel, and do you think it's a main event type of fight? And you think
definitely, I do believe so. It has the potential to be so.
Obviously I noticed that there's a bit of respect there between you and Daniel, but is it sort of like where you and him, when you get in the ring, you always bring the best out of each other? Yeah,
definitely.
Your cousin Tyson, it's a massive fight December the 1st in America against the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay Wilder. Firstly, were you at all surprised that the fight's come this quick since he's come back into the ring?
Yeah and no. You got to think, 12 months ago he was 30 stone. In the space of 12 months he's had 2 comeback fights, and he's fighting the most dangerous heavyweight on the planet. He ain't messing about, is he?
No, he's not. A lot of respect to him for taking that fight so early since his comeback. What's Tyson got to do to go there and win that WBC heavyweight title? Because as you mentioned, Deontay Wilder...
Seriously, be himself. What he does beats Deontay Wilder. I've seen up close and personal what Tyson's capable of, and what he does will beat Wilder. I seriously believe he'll make him miss and he'll make him pay. I think he'll be chasing shadows, Wilder. Don't get me wrong. If he hits you, Wilder, he's a big puncher, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I can't see him even land on Tyson.
I take it you've obviously kept an eye on the press conferences and psychologically, do you think Tyson...
He's getting in his head, I was watching it. I was actually watching it last night. I was watching the press conference again, and to me, it looks like he's getting underneath Wilder's skin. Now, that's going to rather do 2 things, I believe. He's rather going to make Wilder jittery, afraid to throw, or he's going to go out guns blazing. if I was going to put my money on one, I reckon it'd be Jittery, afraid to throw, like he done to Klitschko, got in his head.
Obviously, many fight fans are excited for the fight Wilder versus Fury. They also want to see Wilder get in there with Anthony Joshua now. A lot of people are claiming that still the man to potentially challenge Anthony Joshua is Deontay Wilder. But do you think if Tyson Fury wins on December the 1st, it's only right that he faces Anthony Joshua for the undisputed heavyweight title of the world?
Well, if he beats Tyson.
If Tyson beats Wilder.
If Tyson beats Wilder, then Joshua and Fury should fight.
That's what I mean. Fury fights if he wins against Wilder.
Should be. Why should he fight Wilder? If Tyson beats Wilder, why should he fight Wilder? Well, he's already been beat. He wants to beat the man, doesn't he? Who's got the WBC belt.
Yeah.
And that's Tyson. So.
How much would you like to see that fight next April at Wembley? I think it's one of the biggest fights British boxing will have to offer.
Probably one of the biggest fights in world boxing. Joshua and Fury.
Another piece of news in boxing, especially in the heavyweight division. One of the most shocking pieces of news I've read is Derek Chisora signed with David Haye Haymaker Promotions.
I know.
What do you make of it?
Strange, isn't it? You know.
It was only in 2011 they were killing lumps out of each other.
Killing each other. It's a strange one. Obviously, Derek's obviously done a good move, I suppose, on his behalf. You know, what I've seen from the interviews and stuff I was watching this morning, he's going to give him the best, you know, nutritionist, best strength and conditioning coach, best of everything David can give him. So I'm going to make him a better fighter. So why not?
There's rumours are that he's scheduled to fight Dillian Whyte on December the 22nd. That fight is almost set to be made. Second time round, what do you think the result would be if Derek Chisora was to take on Dillian Whyte? Because it was a cracking fight the first time round.
I'm going to favour Chisora. I like Derek. You know, I like Derek's style. I'd favour Chisora in that fight.
If Derek Chisora doesn't come through, and when obviously it's back to square one, is that a fight you might perhaps be interested in 2019?
You can never say never. You know, things like that can happen. But definitely, like I said before, we're all fighters and we'll fight. Well, that's what we're paid to do, and we'll be fight people. So
I've been keeping an eye on you training with Ricky Hatton. Your hand speed looks better and better every week. I mean, what is it that Ricky's doing with you after fights? You know, what is it that you're working on differently?
He just gets me back in the gym and he drills it into me. You know, explosive movements and everything. What we train is explosive power and speed. So basically, that's what we do. You know, I'm training the way he used to train. So it didn't work out too bad for him, did it?
No, it didn't. It certainly didn't. And it's a great role model to train with. Ricky Hatton's been in there with the best
100%.
former world champion. Now, finally, last question: what are we going to expect to see from you on Saturday night?
A win, hopefully. You know, get the win, do the job, and yeah, just tune in and watch me get the win.
No problem. Well, Nathan, thank you very much for talking to Lights Out. I look forward to seeing you in the ring on Saturday night.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you very much.